suffice it to say that I had interesting times with the 486 Neo Bogan. It was Xeon Bogan. It's going to take me a long time to get away from calling you Neo Bogan, mate. I tell you. Yeah. So you saw in the last video, right, how dog slow, this 486 was, and it had a DX4100 in it, and there were several things that I thought could have been the issue. One was you could see when you booted the machine that the DX4100 was being picked up as a DX266, and off camera I actually went through and I tried all sorts with jumper settings and made no difference, couldn't get it right, couldn't update the BIOS, and thanks to some of the people on the Retro Computing NZ Discord channel, Weezer and bloody Evil C, I think you were commenting there as well, Casanomi and whatnot, we decided that potentially the yeah, I can blame Cas for the 486 thing, but potentially the reason why I couldn't update the BIOS is we're wondering whether it's a what is it called, a erasable EEPROM, not an electrically erasable EEPROM, it's a UV erasable, you know, and you have to pull the chip, put it into a programmer and do the thing. I'll do that at some stage. But so we're running on an old BIOS. It doesn't like the DX4100. Well, it doesn't detect it properly and display it properly. That's fine. So I pulled it out and I've put in a DX266. We'll have a close look at the chip a bit later. But what I wanted to do, and so I put the DX266 in, and it was still running like a pig. Absolute pig. And I did a benchmark on it, and it was telling me it was running as fast as a 286. So I was like scratching my head, wondering what the hell was going on. So again, I put a quick message into the Discord, and some comments came back to say, you know, maybe try the BIOS, you know, the BIOS settings. And so I did the setup defaults and tried it. And then I did the other one. It's called it's like a failsafe. Can't remember exactly what the name is. But anyway, I tried both. And whether I just didn't go in far enough to test properly or not, I don't know. But anyway, it seemed to me that neither of those settings made any difference. But what I did is I went in manually and I changed the caching to right back, and I did some shadowing, enabled 2 of the shadowing options, and bingo, bloody thing started performing properly. So I just wanted to show you that, because I mean, I've never seen, you know, I've got a reasonable amount of experience with 486s. I used to build them back in the day. I don't ever recall seeing them running so slowly. G'day, my monkey. I don't ever recall seeing a 486 running so slowly with default BIOS, you know, basically out of the box, so slowly that it's running as fast as a 286. It's like, so having to go in and manually change these settings, yeah, it works fine apart from the eject issue. That's that issue that they have where the spindle motor and the clamp on the top, they magnetize together, which they're supposed to do. But the magnetism overcomes the weak rubber band drive. And yeah, but luckily Evil C put me in on a bloody good little hack, and that's just to keep a CD-ROM in there. And it'll always, because it wasn't ejecting. So effectively what happens is the spindle motor, the top of the spindle, you know, that drives the CD, and the clampy bit, they magnetized together, and when the mechanism goes to eject, the spindle motor's carrier is supposed to drop down and disconnect that magnetic, and then whoosh, out comes the drawer. Well, it's not. It's gripping, right? And that magnetism's overriding the, as I say, that rubber band that ejects the disc, because it's loose and old. You know, what, 34? Would it be 40 years old? 30. Sorry. Yeah, 30. 30. Yeah, so 30-year-old rubber band, weak. So yeah, it's going well. The sound card's not going well. It's a one channel down. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. But yeah, as I say before, I have never really come across it where you have to go in and change these settings outside of the defaults to get the bloody thing running better than a 286. I mean, I can understand it running as a slow 486 if you don't have the settings right, but a bloody 286, I couldn't believe it. And Neo, you were there. You saw it was running like an absolute pig. So what I wanted to do is I just wanted to go through, have a wee play, fart around with some settings. I've got some benchmarking tools. I'm just sort of shooting the breeze. This is something that I probably would do off camera, but I thought, well, why not? Why not stream it? Whatever we go. But that's basically the, yeah. But geez, 286. Man, I couldn't believe the benchmark was just diabolical. Even the DIR, right? If I do a DIR here with S for subdirectories, you know, that's nice and quick. But I'm going to take note of some of these settings, and I'm going to set it back and just see what happens. Bearing in mind that I've swapped the CPU. So, yeah, Mev has Mivunky, mate. You helped me a lot with that Cyrix and the P3 and all that. So yeah, really appreciate your help there. And so it was your comment actually that put me on the right track to look at the BIOS. But as I say, I've never come across such performance issues out of the box. Not sure what's up with the capture. I'm wondering if it's something to do with the graphics card. It's a Visa Local Bus card. It looks 100% fine on the monitor here, but it's not good on the capture for some reason. I'll get you a sort of a top-down view of that, just so you can see that there. So the first thing I noticed was, when it tests high mem, and yeah, it was taking ages to test high mem, and I thought, wow, that's bizarre. And I thought, oh, maybe it's because it's got 16 megs of RAM in it. That's quite a bit for a 486. It's not that. So I've got quick power on self-test enabled. That's all fairly standard. Oh, so I shadowed the video BIOS, right? Oh, okay. Man, it's a rabbit hole and a half, isn't it? I've been watching those videos too that you, that channel that you sent through to Mivunky, that can't remember the name of it now. But he's good. He does a lot of 486 stuff. And right, so I've auto-configured. I've set this auto configuration here. Yep, so this is the other one I set. Level 2 cache schema is right back. And level 1 cache scheme right through. These are the ones I changed here. System shadow and video shadow cacheable as well. Change those. Memory hole at 16 meg, I don't quite understand yet. I know there's a little bit of info in the manual, but some of it's pretty sort of terse. Yeah. But right, so disable the power management, and and as you can see, that was running nicely. In fact, let's do a quick benchmark. I'll just take some notes, and then I'll change these settings, and you can see how diabolical it was. DX266. It is an Intel overdrive. See that high mem testing there was nice and fast. That's what you'd expect. Is it gonna? Can I show you this? Move that. Can we see the CPU? We can just about, That beastie there. DX2 ODPR66. Okay, thanks for that, Neo. Yeah, so that's what we're running here. One thing to bear in mind. One thing to bear in mind here is this BIOS is out of date, and I can't update it until I find my bloody programmer, which is out in the garage somewhere. But that's a little project for another day. But I thought I'd just have a wee play around with it. As it is, we can have a wee look, do some benchmarking. Right, so if we just have a quick look at this benchmark here, DOS bench. Right, first thing is the cache ID tool. This gives us an idea of how fast the cache is. So you can see nanoseconds per kilobyte there. It gets up to 8. It's 16 nanoseconds per kilobyte up to 8K. Yeah, it tells you how much. So it's yeah, and then so it gets to 24 microseconds, sorry, per kilobyte from 8 to 256 there, isn't it? Yeah. And so what that's telling us is that we've got 8K level 1 cache, and then 256K level 2, that's how I'm reading it. And then it steps out to the main RAM, which is not, I don't think it's overly slow RAM. It's 72 pin on this board. So I think if I can get the 486 DX4100 running nicely, if I do this BIOS update, I think I'll have a pretty speedy little 486, especially with the Visa Local Bus, because it's got VL graphics and multi-IO as well. So I think she'll be a wee beauty. Yeah. Yeah. I think so. So yeah, 8K level 1 cache. Yeah. That's the other thing. I've not ever come across a machine that I can't do flash the BIOS from within the system. I've never had to pull a chip and put it into a EEPROM programmer and do it that way. So some of these things have sort of caught me off guard, really. I've never come across these issues before. But living and learning is the name of the game, especially in this hobby. Yeah. what year is this BIOS? I think I mentioned it the other night. 94. 94, that BIOS. Yeah. Okay, so we'll just run with that. What else can we do for a quick benchmark here? What's that one? Is it top bench? M. Oh no. PC 3D bench. I'll do 3D bench for faster PCs. Let's note that down. 3D bench 475. Right. Was it 47.5? Yep. It's a 2 meg local bus graphics card I'm running here. Okay. Let's just load BIOS defaults except standard CMOS setup. Or we've got load setup defaults except standard CMOS setups. Now, one of them, we were talking about this on the Discord, was one of these will be a failsafe, right? And I wonder whether the BIOS defaults one will be the failsafe. Yeah, so let's see. So let's load the BIOS defaults, right? Let's see what it's changed. Yeah, see, system shadow is not cacheable. Video shadow, non-cacheable. Level 2 cache set back to right through. I'm actually wondering if it's level 1 I should be setting to right back. Because I just read that right back is going to be faster. And I think the CPU supports it. Okay. Well, I'm not changing anything there, right? So this is BIOS defaults. Let's see. Because I was sure I tried both of these and I was still getting shit performance. Excuse my French. Well, we'll tell straight away when it does the memory count, the extended memory count up. Not this one. Oh, okay, it's going to do that. The high mem. Oh, it didn't. Is it going to? There we go. High mem. Yeah, seems pretty slow. Look at that. And this is what I saw the other day. And so my first thought here was, you saw it wasn't running sluggishly before. It is now. But so my first thought when I saw this was, it's got 16 meg, it's got a cheap, blah, blah, blah. Maybe that's how it is. Da, da, da. Nope. I mean, you can see, right? And so this is what I was saying the other day, Neo. This was running like a sack of the proverbial, right? If I do a DIR, look at that. It's not quick. And I mean, and so I just wondered, you know, I was installing SimCity 2000 off the CD-ROM. It was just dog slow. I had to can it in the end. And even installing Blimmin' Descent was a nightmare, and running Descent was just terrible. Yeah, see, it's not good. Even just returning after a DIR like that, see, just... it's VLB, separate card. That one there. Oh yeah, it was painful. So this is going to be diabolical, right? 3D bench. Let's do 3D bench for faster computers, which is... she ain't fast. No, it wasn't the IDE controllers. It was just what I'm talking about here. It was the BIOS setup. I was swapping them out because I was having issues with the VLB one, but it seems to have settled down. I was trying a few Visa Local Bus cards that were unknown, an unknown state, and so some of them, I mean, look at this. This is just, that's going to take a long time, so I'm hoping I can quit it. Control C. Anyway, that proves that I'm just going to restart the machine. I managed to get the original Visa Local Bus I/O card running correctly. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So let's go here, right, and just choose. So that's BIOS defaults. Let's load setup defaults. And I think we'll find again that, look, it's not shadowed. Let's just see. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if it's something to do with that. If I had a different, if I didn't have VLB, or, I mean, let's have a look at this. Yeah, that's a lot quicker. So maybe I didn't try it with setup defaults. Maybe I just tried it with... I wonder what's changed there, because it's not shadowing, right? You can tell it's snappier already. You look at that. That's just setup defaults out of the box. 43.2. So it's slightly slower, right? 47.5 before. Setup defaults, yeah. Yep. Yeah, okay. Let's try. The other thing to bear in mind is that I'm not sure what the benchmark is, if you know what I mean. Like, what a good benchmark should be. So I'll build a little spreadsheet up with some of these. But that's running better, right? Okay. I like to have that on and that. Oops, not that one, that one. I'm curious. Video BIOS shadow. If I load BIOS defaults again, yeah, look, video BIOS shadow disabled. That's the failsafe. Interesting, eh? So the BIOS defaults is your failsafe. The setup defaults is make it go reasonably well. Video BIOS enabled. Okay. Yeah. Chipset. DRAM write burst. I mean, that sounds like something that should be turned on. Slow refresh. Shall I enable slow refresh? Hidden refresh is enabled by default. And then I'm wondering if I do write back on both of these caching schemes here. Just to see slow refresh disabled. Okay, system shadow cacheable and video shadow cacheable. Video hole at 16 meg. I'd have to read what Neo sent through before, but it won't let me change that. Oh, hang on, I'll change this to, there we go. DRAM, right? Maybe I should, okay, burst read 0. So these DRAM write wait states and that, should I set those to 0? Can I set it to 0? I mean, we potentially could get stability issues, eh? Yeah, that's right. So as low as possible, right? Until you, until things start going wrong. Decreases your memory by 1 meg and allow the few ISA cards that require this memory to work. With some motherboards, enabling this feature could also disable all memory above 15, would cause significant issues. Okay, so I'll leave that. That's a compatibility thing. Fast reset emulation, fast reset latency. Latch local bus. I'm going to change that to T2. Local bus ready, synchronized or transparent. I'm not sure what that should be. But let's go with that. Power management, I'm just going to go disable. Okay. Yep. Yeah, there's not much information there, but I'll leave those. Let's see what sort of performance issues we get now, or performance improvements, I should say, not issues. Hopefully no issues. Yeah. Not sure what the speed of the RAM is. I think it's more than likely it's 70. Let me see. Oh, it's 60 nanosecond. That's reasonably quick, eh? This is MS-DOS 6.22. Streamlabs. Streamlabs is warning you for using caps. Just ignore it. But yeah. Oh, I see. 40. Oh. You're talking overclocking now, aren't you? Eh? That's what I'd expect from you, Mabunky. $47.5. That's the same, exactly the same as before. Okay. Yeah, good point. Okay. Well, yeah, 40 megahertz front side bus. Just bring up the book of armaments for this board. .44 megahertz. So if I just change jumper JP25, you'd think so, wouldn't you? CPU clock speed. Right. JP25 to 1, 2. JP25. God, blimey, the light. I was watching that guy pulling jumpers. He's got a little hook that goes through the hole. Really handy because I'm using tweezers at the moment and they don't always work. Sometimes I can get my fingernail on them. But I'm going to contrive a little tool. It's just a little hook that goes in that little hole in the middle of the jumper and just whooks it up. Right, there we go. JP25 set to 1, 2. Uh, 40, just double check that. JP25 1, 2. 23 is 2323. That's 40 megahertz. Let's go. Yeah, I'm not sure if paperclip's actually thin enough to go through the little hole. It might be. It might be. Could be worth a try. But this was like a little, had a little handle on it and everything. Well, it doesn't like something. Beep. Oh, it's running at 80 megahertz. Yeah, paperclip might work. had a little point on it. It was quite pointy as well, so it's going to get through the hole nice and easily as well. So I don't like the look of this. Might have gone a bit too far there, I think. Yeah. I think I can. You can force the ISO and that down, can't you? I was looking on one of those videos. I keep calling him that guy because I can't remember his channel. Yeah, yeah. I think some boards you can play with the timings of the ISO bus and I'm assuming the VL bus as well. No, it's not a happy camper. Yeah, that's what I saw him changing. Bus divider. Is she gonna... I don't think it's gonna post now. It's not happy. Might have pushed it a bit far. I've just set it back to 33. Okay, yeah, good point. So I'll load the setup defaults. Save and exit. No, it's not happy. Did you hear all the beeping? It's not happy. Uh-oh. It still beeped that time, but now I've got video. Oh, no. Trying to boot. No. That isn't all that unusual, to be honest, with this machine. Oh, okay, yep. Drain the caps. Jumper's not wrong. This board with this card combination has done this before. It's not unusual. I've found that it's a little bit temperamental / flaky, and sometimes all it takes is just to reseat reseat these cards here. I've cleaned the slots. I've cleaned the card edge. You know, done the sort of standard stuff to try and increase reliability. See, no beeps but no video either. Yeah. Yeah, it could be. Could be either of those. The thing is that when it's going, it goes really well, and it goes for a long time. No problem. I think, you know, dicking around with that overclocking might have just upset it a little bit. But once it's up and running, it seems to be pretty solid. No, it's not. Jumper's back to the way it was originally. It could be this IO card as well. I'm just pulling the power from the board. I could change out the power supply, but I just don't have one handy. See, the thing is to start messing around like this with it, and it can take a little while to get it back up and running again, because it could be upsetting other things. But yeah, there's not that many caps on this board. But yeah, it's possible. But there's one cap down here. Looks like it could be something to do with power supply, doesn't it? That is the only electrolytic cap I can see on this board. Yeah. If I It will go again, I'm sure. Oh yeah, it's got TANTs, but that's the only electrolytic I can see it's going now. There's TANTs everywhere, but if one of those was shorted or whatever, I mean, I haven't had one blow on this board. I've got another one, identical board, well, no, not quite identical. It's, what is that? It's a 486 SVGO. And this one is a 486 SVGO X4. So this is the X4 version, the one we're looking at. The non-X4 version's over there. It's almost identical. It's got the same BIOS on it. That blew a tant a while back, and I just basically left it. I didn't pursue it. It was a test board. I've had these for ages. These boards. They haven't been used by me much, put it that way. I've really only just I was using one as a test bed. That's the one that blew the tant. It's behind me here, that one there. That I was using as like a test bed type machine. Yeah. I'm wondering whether, I think some of it's the VLB, because if I put non-VLB cards in, it's rock solid, don't have any of these problems. So I could be battling with flaky VLB cards. I know that the multi-IO card in this one it was doing some weird stuff. It was picking up a 2 gig drive as like a 4 gig drive, and then it would come right. Sometimes it wouldn't detect the drive at all. Sometimes it would double the capacity. Sometimes it would be correct. But that's what Neo was talking about before, is I went through a whole lot of other VLB IO cards the other night at unknown state, and I think I've got some faulty ones of those, and I ended up going full circle, coming back to this one, and it just came right. It just settled, and yeah. I'd really like to get this bloody BIOS updated, I tell you. Because I think, I just want to get that 486, the DX4100 working in it nicely. So that's the mission. That's the plan of attack. Anyway, I'll set this back up again. Disable that. Oh look, DRAM speed I didn't set before. It's got fastest. It was set to faster. I wonder if right back or right through makes any difference. Yep. I like to boot from floppy from time to time. Yep. Always doing it. Only if the CPU supports right through, and is right through faster. I don't quite understand caching. I'm learning. Right back, I know it supports right back, but maybe I should try right through, just see what happens, eh? Let's see what happens. Oh, okay. Hence right through. Okay. So what you're saying there, if I understand that correctly, right through, I'll just go back to that. Right through is faster, is that what you're saying there? Right through cache halts application. Oh, so right through slower, yeah? Right back is faster. God, I'm confused now. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, okay. Let's just see. I'm not sure whether that cache check will show any difference. Having it set, you know, to right back or right through. 16 microseconds. 16, 24, and 33. Oh yeah. Yeah. This one's got 16k. This is implying there's 16k of L1 cache on this DX2. That's different too, is it? No, sorry. Yeah, I'm reading it wrong. It's been a long day. 8k, yeah. At 16 microseconds. Level 2 is 256. This is the DX2. At 24 microseconds. And then RAM is whatever, you know, however much RAM we've got is 33. So the cache, that's interesting. Thanks. Yeah, I didn't note it before. Yeah. Just out of curiosity then, so what have we got? Level 1, 15.2 nanoseconds per byte. Level 1, 15.2. Level 2 is 22.5. Main memory, 31.1. Yeah. You know what? I'm just out of curiosity, yeah. Just so I can start to build up a little bit. I'm going to go potato mode, right? Absolute potato, and just see what these see what the difference is here. Yeah, I'll run the cache test in spud mode. All right, got it. 180 megahertz and a 486. Oh, what's the 133 CPU 486? not going to capture with potato cam. AMD 586. Oh yeah, nice. That must be quite rare. That chip, is it? Okay. For science. Oh really? Oh, okay. So quake, you reckon? Oh, look at that. Oh, isn't that horrible? 126 as opposed to 16. So that's basically just not using the cache. Broken it all right. I'll be curious to see that, Mavanki. You're eking 180 megahertz out of 486. We'll all be too scared to turn up at any LAN parties, with 486 LAN party. It'd be like, don't bother. You're gonna be beaten into the weeds by Mavanki's bloody beast of a freaking 486. Yeah, I agree. Look at it. So so the 133 486? What's the configuration of that? What's the bus speed? And this machine does not seem to have any cache. So basically, its effective RAM access is main memory speed 118.7 nanoseconds. Main RAM 118.7 nanoseconds per byte. As opposed to 31.1. 33. Oh, okay. Well, that's what, 4 times then, isn't it? Yeah. Nice, nice. Okay, let's take it out of potato and put it to set up defaults without changing those settings. At least, I mean, even the BIOS, you can tell, is just not, it's not as snappy. Ah, yeah, yeah. 586. That UMC looked interesting. Damn, I'm going to find out what that channel is that I've been calling him, that guy. He does a lot of 486 stuff, talks about memory and cache and whatnot. V switch 0. V switch 0. I enjoy watching his stuff. I've just started watching since you mentioned it to me, Mavanki, that yeah, yep. So as far as 486, messing around, benchmarking and cache and bits and pieces, quite good. That UMC 486 he was, yeah. He's good. He's straight to the point and he doesn't beat around the bush too much. It's good. Cache check. All right, what have we got here? So this is setup defaults. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is running, these are running the SIS chipset. He was doing all sorts on one of the videos. He's swapping out the bloody oscillator and overclocking, and yeah, it was really interesting. I've seen that. I've been watching GPU Galaxy for quite a while. Yeah. Well, I started watching him ages ago, but I've kind of I haven't seen any of his content for quite a while. But yeah, I do remember enjoying that content. So 15.2. This is just setup defaults. 22.5. So that's the same as. So okay, these results are slightly different. So the cache is the same. Between this is setup defaults. The cache is the same as when I tweaked. I tweaked the BIOS as such. The tweaked BIOS, if we call it that. So we've got three BIOS states. We've got potato, which is BIOS defaults. We've got setup, which is nothing changed, and then we've got what I'm calling tweaked, is those settings I changed. The difference between setup and tweaked is the RAM access time, and it's gone from tweaked was 31.1 nanosecond to setup defaults here at 38.9. Yeah, CPU Galaxy. Yeah. That collection he's got is pretty impressive too. I saw that video a while back. Yeah, good stuff. So the tweaking made a difference with the RAM access time, but not the cache. Interesting. $70. I'm looking at the nanosecond per byte rather than microsecond per kilobyte, I think it was. It's two different metrics. Well, I mean, one's just conversions, I guess, but that one. Oh, IDE HDD block mode. That could be something to look at as well for speeding the hard drive up, eh? Video BIOS is shadowed. AT bus clock. AT bus clock. So that'll be ISA divider. Yeah. So that's dividing the clock. So the clock is running at 33 megahertz, yeah. Yeah. And so the front side, yeah, I see. Yeah, yeah. So effectively, if you divide it by 3, well then you're getting a faster ISA clock. That wouldn't be a good thing to do, eh? I mean, that's gonna, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll leave it at 1, 4. Yeah, but is that overclocking the 1/5? Oh, I see. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. Should I try it again? Yeah. DRAM. DRAM speed fastest. I wonder if that's what is making the difference in these tests. Right. And the DRAM wait state to 0 will make a big difference too, won't it? Write burst will make a difference, I'm sure. Write through didn't seem to make much difference at all. And so I think, did we decide write through is probably the best option? Is that I'd have to, I've got to get that imprinted in my brain about that caching. Write back is cache now, memory later. Through is write both. Yep, that works. Yeah, so I do have the CPU. Oh, do I? Hang on. The DX4100 I might have. Oh, here we go. DX2 ODP R66. Level 1 cache size 8K 4-way set associative unified code and data cache. Whatever that means. On chip peripheral MMU. It doesn't say anything about cache as such. Yeah, so the level 1 cache on the DX4100 is 8K. On my DX4100 is 8K as well. I did see somewhere something about the caching type, but right, yeah, 16K version. So if I set level 1 to cut right back, I mean the only way to really tell would be right. Yeah, see, I've got the model number of my DX4 100 is a DX4. It's an A880 486 DX4-100 NV8T OEM tray 8K level 1 cache. Yeah, yeah. That is the only 486 DX4 100 I've got. But you know, yeah, I see. Yeah, so the only way to really tell Evil C is to put it through its pace, like change the settings right and just change the right back and the right through. Oh yeah, I might hit you up later on Discord just if you can send me the info of that seller. Would be handy. Thanks. Yeah. So if I'm setting both level 1 and level 2 to right back, and we'll do a little test and we'll see. It should play Doom all right. This machine, do you think? Should be playable, shouldn't it? That's where you saw the 70 Evil C. Yeah, doesn't it? Yeah, because we were getting, the fastest I was getting was 31.1 nanoseconds. Oh, sorry, 33 microseconds on the RAM. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? So what have we got? 68.9. Wait on. 15.2. That's right, 15.2. 22.6. And 65.3. Yeah, something, eh? Something. I wonder. I'll try changing one of them and we'll just see. Let's change to level 1 cache to right through. Actually, I'm going to change both to right through, just to get the figures on it, and then I'm going to try changing one. Yeah. Hang on. So we're set to right through now. Okay. Yeah, that's faster already, right? It's handy having these tools. I mean, you'd have no idea otherwise, would you? Slight performance increases or hits. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense, Evil C, yeah. You get a hit if you actually use something that's not supported, like right back. $15.2, yep, that's the same, yeah. 22.5, that's the same. 31.1, yeah, that's the same as what I had up before, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, you'll probably appreciate this, Evil C, when you go from using the Amiga a lot to the PC. I found myself holding caps lock Alt to do a reboot. I wanted to go back into the BIOS. So, Avanki, you're suggesting level 1 right through, level 2 right back. Let's see. Yeah, or the I've got an IBM 5155 luggable. I think that's because it's got the Model F keyboard, and it's different again. Jesus. Whoa, is this faster? Is it? No, this is slow again. Yeah, so this is level 1 through, level 2 back, and it's down to 60, it'll be 65.3 thereabouts, I'm sure, nanoseconds. Okay. Yep. 65.3. The rest is the same, right? Yep. So what I want to do is I want to flip those. If I go level 1 back and level 2 through, just for science really, see what happens there, at least just to, I don't know, who knows, get the right combination, it might be even quicker, right? That's right, isn't it? Yep. Put that through, put that back. Yep. I might try that in a sec. I will give that a go. Hopefully I don't upset things again so that it can't bloody boot again like it did before. Yeah, well, I'll do some Doom benchmarking or something, eh? And we'll play with the divider. Okay, so that's quick again. Is that right? Yeah, this is going to be quick again. So that it's the level 2. Hang on, level. Yeah, it seems to be with the level 1. Hang on a second. With the level 1 set to through. No, it's the level 2 that's making the difference. If I've got the level 2 set to back, right back, it's slow no matter what level 1 is set to, it seems to be. Yeah, level 2. So that is level 1. So this is fast again. So as long as you don't have level 2 set to back, we get faster RAM access. Yeah, yeah, I believe that'd be right, yes. And if I set both to through, I get the same. So whether it's level 1 back or level 1 through, it makes no difference to this test here. The level 2 needs to be on through. If you put it to back, it slows it down. Okay, interesting. Let's, before we mess around with the ISO clock speed, let's do 3D bench. $46.6. I had 43.2 before with the setup defaults in 3D bench. I wonder what's making a difference there then. $46.6. Okay. Right. Let's push the cards then. So if I push that to clock divide by 3, so that's 10, it's going to be 10 megahertz, isn't it? Is that right? Rather than dividing 33 by 4, we're dividing 33 by 3, 11 megahertz, yeah? Yeah. And let's see. It's heavy as Larry. I don't think I'll bother with Doom benchmarking at this stage. We'll just see what 3D Bench comes back with. So this is 1/3 clock. Oh, wrong one. $46.7, basically the same. Yeah, thinking that, because it's basically the same. I wonder if there is a setting for the VLB. What will make a difference though is we do your suggestion, Mavanki, of 1/5 clock speed, and then boosting the front side bus, yeah. do that and see whether I can overclock it. Yeah, because it's a 16-bit card, isn't it? The VLB, but yeah, is it running at the clock speed? Is it? No video. No video. He doesn't like that at all. I'm giving up on the 40 megahertz. Not happy. Yep. Tempted to turn it off, and if I disconnect the power, there for a bit. I'm hoping that I don't have to mess around resetting cards and things like that. All right, yeah. So VLB is kind of like PCI in a way that it runs at the front side bus speed, yeah? Yeah. Okay. Right. Not sure whether that's leaving it long enough, because I guess, I don't know, do the caps in the power supply, will they keep things energized for quite a while? Not sure. Yep, got a signal now. There we go. Just needs the power disconnected for a little bit. Doom Max. Here we go. Yeah, and the capture is, there's just a capture issue you're seeing there. I'm not quite sure why the capture doesn't like it. Fast Doom might be a better option as well. Get a bit more speed, eh? Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. I can't. I'm not sure why. Two 758. 27.08 FPS. It's not bad, is it? I mean, 30 frames a second for Doom. Ah, yes, CPU check. Here we go. Internal level 1 cache enabled in write through mode. That's what I've got it set to, isn't it? Yeah, that's why setting it to, that's why setting the level 1 to write back makes no difference, I think, is because you can see there that the internal level 1 cache enabled in write through mode. It's just, it looks like the CPU just overrides the BIOS setting. That's the way I'm reading that? Okay. I want the E switch, don't I? E and the Y will do. It's got to be. Double speed CD-ROM. Is it reading? The light's on. There we go. Double speed doing its thing. Uh-oh. Maybe it doesn't like this written disk. Oh, bugger. It's not liking that Tomb Raider one, is it? Ew. Don't tell me it's dying on me. I can see it needs a good clean. It's quite dusty. Yep, that's reading okay. It's not like in this written CD. Let's have another go. No, it doesn't like it. That's weird because I wrote. Oh, there we go. It's okay now. Okay. Is it? Nope. Doesn't like it. Oh yeah, maybe it is. Yeah. So that benchmarking software came from a burned CD. No, it was underclocked actually. It's not still overclocked. No, it's set back to a 33. Yeah. So the benchmarking software copied no problem, but maybe it's something to do with the file size or something, eh? Yeah, pretty picky, yeah. You know, like it. Can't do that for... Well, that's a pain. Can I copy a directory like this if I do Doom 1 to games? Is it going to let me do that? Yes, it will. Except it's not going to read the disk. Seems to be reading it. Albeit slowly. I think this has got or had Aliens mod, this version of the Doom that I've got. It's not quick, is it? I did burn the disc at 2 times too. Actually, I burned it at single speed because there wasn't that much to put on it. Whether that makes a difference or not, I don't know. But I did it anyway. I think I'll put the double speed drive in my 386 and maybe another one in this 486. It would be a good period appropriate place to put it. And what I'll probably end up doing is just using one of those bloody compact flash card readers, one of these jobs, just for transferring back and forward, transferring files onto the machine. And I'm going to find a faster hard drive because I think that this machine deserves something faster than a Bigfoot, considering it's got the VLB multi IO card in it. I think it deserves faster. Then again, is a Bigfoot really that slow on a machine like this? That's the other question. I'm not quite sure whether it would make much difference. Because the Bigfoot's quite a bit later, I think, isn't it? What year is this Bigfoot? Oh shoot. Is there a date code on it? Oh. Is that 91? Bigfoot. 2 gig Bigfoot. Anyone want to take a stab at the date? Does 91 sound right? I've got VLB IO. Oh, Bigfoot using the P1. Yeah, okay. I'm just trying to read date code here, but I can't really see anything too obvious. Yeah, I thought they were later than the 486. So I've got VLB IO. So I need to find a drive. Well, I guess the Bigfoot would be fine, right? Yeah. But I would prefer to put something in it that's more period appropriate, like fast period appropriate to, take advantage of the VLB IO. Yeah, this is a 2 gig drive and the BIOS detects it fine. No problem. It's a 1994 BIOS from memory. Yeah, this is a 94 BIOS. Yeah. But, I mean, to get something more period appropriate, possibly I might have something. Right, yeah, so it's a couple of years later. But, is it that far off to get something? I mean, what else could I use that is going to be period appropriate, that's got the performance to take advantage of the VLB. And I think it supports enhanced IDE. Well, the BIOS can support enhanced IDE as well. Whether the IO card can or not, I don't know. Oh, bugger. It's going to fail on me again, is it? Yeah, it looks like it's going to fail. Oh no, it's off. It's away again. See, the other thing is, do I really want a CD drive that's going to be dodgy reading rewritables? I guess it doesn't matter if I put the compact flash card reader in. In fact, I can probably do that tonight. There we go, there's Doom. Oh, do I have Doom on here already? Oh, it's just put it into the bloody... I didn't put it into a subdirectory, did I? G'day Scrimmy at night. I'm messing around with 486. Basically, the other night when I was messing around with this computer, I found it was very slow. So long story short, turns out that I didn't have the BIOS set up properly, and out of the box BIOS setup made this 486 run like a 286. And I was wondering why, because at the time I had a DX4100 CPU in the machine, and I was wondering why it was running so slowly. And yeah, the benchmark was showing it as a 286, even though the BIOS was picking up. Well, the BIOS wasn't picking up the DX4100 properly because the BIOS is out of date, and I can't easily upgrade it without pulling the BIOS chip out, flashing it. So I thought maybe that was the issue, and turns out, as I say, long story short, turns out that I just needed to change a few BIOS settings, and I got more performance. I got a lot more performance. I mean, it went from 286 type performance to proper 486 performance. And so I was just going to look at setting up. I've just done some benchmarks and messing around with BIOS settings to get the cache working properly, and I just copied Doom on here just to see how well it goes. Now you might only get one channel through of sound, and the captures, something up the capture. So you'll be getting only one channel through, because the Sound Blaster card is faulty. It's got a channel out. Either it's the output, the 3.5mm plug, or it's got a channel down. I don't know. But yeah, and the capture doesn't like this. I think it's the graphics card it doesn't like. It's a 2 meg Visa Local Bus card. Looks perfectly fine on my CRT. apart from the strobing that you'll see there. But yeah, you can see it's perfectly fine on the CRT. No mouse, why is that? Yeah. So yeah, you can see it's running. I'm tempted to swap out that, yeah, the screen is dark. It's my capture doesn't like it. Yeah, even there, see the difference? Yeah. So it'll be that Visa Local Bus card you can see there. Pretty sure it doesn't, for whatever reason, it doesn't like it. So this one, that one there is the graphics card, VLB, and that's the IO, that's a VLB as well. And that's Sound Blaster 2.0, CT 1600. And I've got a 2-speed Creative CD-ROM hanging off that. Yeah, so tempted to put another sound card in it and just see what sort of result I get. I've got two options. I've got a Sound Blaster 16, this one, CT 1740, and it has the appropriate port on the back there for the CD-ROM drive. Pretty sure that will be Panasonic, you know, Matsushima port. I'm not 100% sure though. And the other one I've got is this one here. That beastie there. That has, oh no, this is an IDE. That there, the populated one's an IDE, and that non-populated is the Creative Panasonic drive. So I can't use this if I want to use that 2-speed CD-ROM. So yeah, I'm not sure actually whether I'm not even sure whether this is a IDE or not. Not sure if anyone knows. CT 1740. Tempted just to whack it in and see what happens. And if it doesn't work, there could be drivers and whatnot that I need to install, but we'll see how we go. See that CT 1600, it doesn't have any labeling on this port as to whether it's a Panasonic port or not, but definitely is. So I'm just hoping that this one is the same. Nice old Sound Blaster 16. Ooh. Now the drivers might not be right. It's found the drive. That's good. So it's Panasonic Matsushima. Might just work out of the box, eh? Do we have sound? No, we don't have any sound, do we? Yes, we do. And we've got 2 channels of sound this time. Yeah, sorry you can't see that very well. It's working well though. So that card is working. That's good. And the CD-ROM, if we put a proper disc in it that it can read properly, it'd be handy. Did I actually manage to get Descent on this machine? That's the other thing. God, I've just filled this bloody directory up with Doom. Yeah, I did get Descent on here. Yeah, colour's weird, isn't it? I think the channels are, I'll just reverse those. Yep. You remember when Doom was cool? It's still cool. People still play it. What about Descent? Remember when Descent was cool? Oh yeah, missed. Yeah, I don't have a joystick. I like to play this game with the joystick, so, and I'm not, it's almost at the point where I might not even be able to capture this machine properly with this graphics card. Yeah, Descent is still cool. I still really enjoy Descent. Yeah, I'm not too sure what to do with the capture on this machine. It's just too dark. Remember I tried to play this, I'm not sure if you're still here, Neo. I tried to play this the other night, it was just diabolical. Diabolically slow because the machine was running like a 286. Remember how bad this was running? Goes quite well. Actually, this would be a nice little system to play this on. I'd get the joystick up to it, but I'm not capturing it like this. I'm curious to see whether a different graphics card might sort this bloody capture out, because I can't capture that. Tempted to chuck the DX4100 in it. Yeah. Could be, couldn't it? How do you sort that? That's just being generated somewhere on board, eh? Unless, like I put Windows or something on it and I can change the refresh from in there, couldn't I? Or is there a DOS utility that you could run, do you think, to, adjust the refresh and things like that? But unfortunately, it's the only bloody Visa Local bus card I've got. It's a pity it doesn't play well with the capture. What would be interesting is to grab another machine and put this card into it and see if it has the same issue. But the thing is that the only other 486 Visa Local bus board I've got is that one behind me, and it's basically the same as this. So I would suspect that I'll get the same result. Yeah. So probably need to find something that's, reasonably quick. Maybe even, it would be cheating to sort of, I feel like it would be cheating to play some of these games on a Pentium. I've got a Pentium 1. I think it's a 100 or something like that. I think it might be PCI, that would be quite a good option, but I sort of would like to play some of these games on a 486. And of course, I'd like to stream it as well, so, I might just have to bite the bullet and play it with a nicer graphics card in it, something like that. Right. Okay. I wonder if, if I put something, oh yeah, yeah, I might stream with the Pentium 1, maybe, and just have the 486 to mess around with. Maybe Windows games or something, I don't know. But maybe I should put Windows 3.1 on it and get some drivers, if I can get some drivers for this card, and then I could probably set the refresh rate in Windows and put 95. I'll do a dual boot. Pretty much I'd like to set it up with 3.1 and 95. I know it can be done now because Carsonomi did it. So that'll be a good little project. But I think I need to put, at the moment, this whole drive is one partition. I don't normally set machines up like that, but it was just I was having trouble with that multi-IO card and messing around, and in the end I was just in a hurry to test it and just created one partition. Yeah, the DX4 would be good, but I'm still, if I can't capture it, it's a pain in the butt. But maybe I just have to step down to an ISA, a good ISA card. Would be nice to play on the VLB, but maybe if I can't sort it, I might have to go back to potato capture. I don't know. Point a camera at the screen. But, that might be the only option if I want to stream it. But if I can set it up well so that it's not flickering and, fix the focus and fix the white balance and things like that, pointing a camera at the screen works, but yeah, it's not ideal. But if that's all I can do, that's what I might end up doing. So yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure. I'll have a look through my 486 boards and see if I've got anything that is PCI. So I guess some of the later 486 boards had PCI. That could be a little project, is to, build up a machine, that I can stream some of these DOS games this era. Yeah. But yeah. I think that, what else could I do with this? There's not really much that I can capture game-wise. I don't really want to go spending too much more time installing like Windows or anything like that, because I think I'll just end up blowing it away to get some more partitions on it. I think I need a different partition to put 95 on, is that? Yeah, that would be nice, eh? So I'd need to have a board, a 486 board that's got PCI and ISA. I guess they exist. I'll have to have a wee rummage around. But that would make quite a nice little streaming rig. But yeah, as far as dual booting, I think I have to have a second partition, don't I, to put 95 on. So my understanding, from what I saw Carsonomi do, was you put DOS 6.2 and Windows 3.11 on, like the first partition, and then you install 95 on the second partition. Is that how he did it? I'm not 100% sure, because I didn't see that part of the stream, whether he had to build a separate partition or not. But yeah, I might just ask him later on what he did there, because I'd like to replicate that. That's quite a nice little setup, having that dual boot like that. Yeah, but I don't think I'll do too much more with this machine. It's not really worth it. Just considering the capture situation. Yeah, quite a nice wee machine. I'll probably build it up just for my own use, and as I say, I might capture via bloody pointing a camera at the screen. Could be an option. Yeah. But yeah, I think I'll call it tonight. Let's see who's on. Who can we raid tonight? Karsinomi on? Is he not on tonight? The Brownmeister. Let's raid the Brownmeister. Righto, guys. Thanks for keeping me company and helping me out, giving me suggestions and whatnot. It's great. We will catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.